is pretty powerful, then the user at the other side doesn't need to know. They can just run it through a console window, or just like a online through a browser window. So it just looks like your browser window becomes your access to your operating system to it, and you let the other side dynamically allocate resources as and when needed. Makes it very easy to maintain these virtual machines. You can either have a set of ready-made ones, machine images, what Google calls its VMIs, these virtual machine images, and they'll set up a series of common environments, common virtual machines, whether it's Linux with MySQL loaded, and the other sort of types of software on it, or Windows machines with IIS ready loaded and things, and already licensed and things for it. And you can either use one of those to do ready, or you can customize one and save that machine image. Again, similar things to anybody who's done any of the Android development. You can create a virtual machine, you can customize it to whatever you like and set some different configurations up and save that, so that the next time you can just come back and it's ready, still got your old software on there that you've perhaps sort of pushed onto it. So you can take snapshots of a virtual machine and store those away for it. So it gives you much better utilization of that physical infrastructure, because you're only using it as and when you need it. So you fire up that virtual machine and okay, it just sort of runs away, and it may physically still use one physical machine in the background. So we're not necessarily saying that all these things are cramming 10 virtual machines onto one. They may well have a machine that runs, say, 2 or 3. It'll depend on how much actual processing, how much memory, how much resources you're actually sort of needing to have. But it gives you better overall utilization, because, as I say, you're generally not using these machines all the time. So if your CPU usage is dropping down, or your disk usage is dropping down over the day or over the week or something, somebody else can better utilize that memory space on the core machine. And by having reduced the physical infrastructure, you can put all these in server farms or whatever, or the sort of equivalent, just have them in racks. The power requirements are much sort of better to deal with. Your heating, ventilation, air conditioning costs can sort of come down. It becomes a bit easier to sort of manage. And that's where Google ends up, say, one of the there's a link, just as a bit of background info on where Google stores its data. They've got a little sort of gallery of photos of where their actual sort of places are that these sort of things are based in. So they're basing them, they're sort of virtual servers where when you're running these things, and it's the same thing with sort of Amazon. They're running it in the best place for them. So they may run it in a place that's easily cooled or easy to access for other resources that they sort of need for it. They may sort of put it up in the far north somewhere to help with that cooling sort of problem to it. So they're physically stored around the place. And if you just sort of want to look, just as I say, just out of interest, you can have a look at some of these sort of virtual places where they actually sort of are, just on that link from the main page to it. So as I say, this week we're going to have a look in the labs at using both the virtual machines, using the data persistence around it, trying some of these things out. And please, give it a good sort of try yourself. Oracle are quite good at setting up virtual machines as well. They do their virtual box that lets you run another version of an Android emulator to the one that comes with Android Studio. Perhaps sort of runs a bit faster or something like that. But lots of people have been in the business for quite some time. In its Citrix and VMware have been around for a long time. for it. Oracle have sort of got into it over the last sort of few years to it. So it's not like Google and Microsoft are the first people doing this. It's a well-tried technology. But we'll leave it there for today. Labs, as I say, try out this sort of range of ones, working over this week and next week to work on. Next week a bit more on just general web services.